Good morning, everyone.
everyone.
My goodness, very tired. 4 a.m. yesterday just to do this video. Yeah. So anyway, welcome back to our second episode of We Talk Whatever. This is Jay.
And this is Vivian.
Today, we wanted to do something that is very exciting because last Thursday, a total of 9 plots.
3 more than that.
But the most
Sorry.
exciting ones are here. Most importantly in this video, it is all about you. How does this more than 9 plots of GLS coming up in the next half of 2026 impact you, whether you are an owner of a property today, and also if you are thinking about whether to make your purchase now versus next year.
And not only that, right, we're going to talk about the different regions, how is it going to impact like RCR and CCR. Today we're going to touch more about OCR, and these are the two series that we're going to be talking about. From this GLS things that we have noticed, more content to share with you guys. For example, some of the reserve sites that have been persistently classified as a reserve list, suddenly they become the confirmed list. And how do they impact the prices when this reserve site becomes a confirmed site and then got one more confirmed site in the same area comes out? We are very excited to show you what's going to be upcoming in our next few videos.
In short, what Jay is trying to say is, where are the opportunities upcoming, whether is it resale or new launches? These are the things that we want to share with you. Actually, if you are owner as well, you'll be able to time your exit properly. Why is it important to time exit properly?
For example, we want to let go at a timing where we don't have much competition. And then as a buyer, you want to go in when people are not so confident when they're selling their houses. So actually, there are two sides of this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Basically, as an owner, I want to sell as high price. When do I know when is the right time for me to sell?
Correct.
As a buyer, can I buy at a lowest price before the price actually surge up? So these are the things that we actually monitored by studying the GLS, and it is especially exciting for the second half of 2026.
And not everywhere will be the same because the land sites where they launch will be at different locations. So some locations, certain point you have a lot. Some locations, certain point you have very little.
Correct. And these are all going to impact the price. Wow, I'm very excited about today's video.
Yes.
Yeah.
But today is just part one, so you really have to see through all our videos first to really understand everything.
Do make sure to like and subscribe to our channel because I'm very sure that this series of videos, I don't think you'll be able to find online.
Anyway, long story short, just join our Telegram group also.
Yeah, at the same time, join us in our Telegram chat. Jay has been very diligent
Yes, help
since
me,
the
please.
last video. In fact, more hardworking than me. He has been posting very interesting content. Also, join me on my Telegram community as well.
And I think end of the day, we are just learning from each other.
If you require real estate advice, make sure to contact us via our contact number here.
So when we were discussing about the land plots, in terms of how we perceive certain sites, right, there are certain categories which are not here, not there one.
What is this RCR plus and OCR plus? Because never see this term before. Jay created this term one, right? But before that, we want to do a very brief introduction on what the three main regions are, because today's video is going to be very focused on the three terms OCR, RCR and CCR. So what is these three regions? We start from the CCR region first. It's the core central region where we're talking about Orchard, very prime areas of Singapore. After that, we have the RCR, which is basically the city fringe. This is where we have Boon Keng, with Ang Mo Kio, Toa Payoh. Then last part is the OCR region, which we are talking about Jurong, Choa Chu Kang, Punggol, Sengkang. These are the heartland areas of Singapore. So what does Jay actually mean when he's talking about OCR plus and RCR plus?
On the ground, we know some of the land plots that are usually very hot. Like for example, in OCR, there are certain areas sure sell one. And the price is not OCR price. For example, this can be OCR, right? The price can be around this region one. Sometimes even in this region.
So very close to city fringe prices.
Yes. And then for RCR Plus, also very similar. Some prices can be extremely close to CCR. Still got CCR, got Lux and Ultra Lux, but that one is not so much of the land plot. It's more of the development itself and the development quality. We're just going to do OCR Plus and RCR Plus because this is our main topic for today.
So actually, we also can agree that some areas are just not the same.
Yes.
Like for example, if we want to compare OCR, it's like Jurong versus Clementi. Clementi also OCR, but Clementi just is a OCR plus.
Sorry, I don't agree if we say like that. But anyway, I grew up in Jurong also. Why I say like that, right? Jurong and Clementi is one MRT apart. But in the resale market, right, the 4 bedrooms in Jurong, resale is about 2.4, 2.6 million. But the resale in Clementi, that D5 area, can be $1 million more. Like you just cross one MRT line. Both are actually OCR. In fact, the HDB prices also very much different.
Yeah, another example, if we want to talk about Vela Bay. Vela Bay is located in the OCR area, right? But in terms of pricing, it's very different from what we see in Tanah Merah, for example.
And you see the map, Vela Bay actually is at the far end of East Coast part. Right? Somehow also there, the HDB very expensive.
Correct, and over there we're going to have the prime PLH, right?
Just visited the owner, right? One of the units there. How much is the price?
1.5 million for a 5-room flat. So a bit different. That's why we have these specific terms. It's not to make things very complicated, but it's probably to give give you more clarity on why is the price like this and what we can expect and whether there is a gap that we can come in or not.
So what do we mean in terms of the prices? I put inside examples here. Bloomsbury Residences, this is actually RCR. And this is my terminology, Zion Grand RCR Plus. So you can see they were launched in April 2025 for Bloomsbury Residences. And in the same year, we have Zion Grand, just a couple of months apart, right? Then you can see RCR, more expensive, right? 3,550 per square foot compared to Bloomsbury Residences 2004, right? How come the more expensive ones sell higher percentage? No reason, right? If you just look on paper, RCR, there's no reason.
Like logically lah.
Yeah, there are really some sites that we see 这个 is 包卖 one. Sure sell and sure people pay high price. Usually lah, and then the percentage sales will be quite high. In fact, one upcoming launch possibly could be like that, will be Thomson Reserve.
So in terms of the RCR region, you can see even though both is city fringe, but the pricing is very different. So this is what we actually mean by RCR Plus. And very clearly, Zion Grand is the RCR Plus lah.
Yes. One more example just to wrap things up with regards to the definition. Vela Bay Tengah Garden Residences, in the same week they launched lah. Okay. Vela Bay, the percentage of the sales didn't sell as well as Tengah Garden Residences, but I think that's irrelevant for what I'm trying to say. What we can see here is the price, 2008 PSF for Vela Bay. And this price in OCR is very crazy lah, and they sell 72% is honestly very, very impressive.
It's like close to 2009, which is like the OCR price already.
Correct. So you see Vela Bay 2886, then you see this one RCR 2004. Makes sense or not? Actually on paper don't make sense one.
Correct.
Yeah, and the percentage sales also better than this one. Although now Bloomsbury, based on the pricing, the percentage sales have been increased a lot already.
But of course land price is different based on these two.
Yeah,
one sold earlier, one sold later.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think we're done with the definition of this. Then we're going to be moving on to our main content over here, right?
Yeah, I feel why we are so excited is because we do realize that based on the GLS for 2026, right?
Of course, we see second half of this year, 2026. We were discussing actually all these land plots very good. In terms of those units that are in the confirmed list, we have those in like Marina Gardens Lane, Orchard Boulevard, Tanjong Rhu, Holland Plain. Because sometimes we need to advise our clients, maybe they are waiting for certain launches. Then I see, wow, how come in the OCR very little? So over here we have Town Hall Link, which is a white site. White site may not be cheap, just to let you know. And the other one in Jurong East will be EC, which falls under the new EC ruling regulation. So if you are not familiar with that, you can tune into that previous video. And then apart from that, only East Coast at 85 units.
Yeah.
Even can I ask you what is white sites or not? Because some people may not know.
White site is like the Uno card of the master plan, where you can change to different usage.
You can choose any color you want.
Correct. So you can do like commercial, residential, you can even do hotel. So white site is deemed as the most premium plot of land in the master plan.
Okay.
Right?
Because the Uno card got 4 color so therefore you have to pay more for that
Yeah.
And the prices coming out usually for white sites are not cheap. And then over here for the other OCR is East Coast Road with only 85 units. So
not very plus this one. This one even if plus also minus.
Okay give chance
Small project.
East Coast Road people like But the only gripe I have here is 85 units
Yeah. Generally for this kind of land, demand is lower
But the location itself to me is a OCR plus.
Okay.
For example, it's in Katong area, Teluk area. Generally, people still have a very good impression there. Like those we saw in Tembusu Grand, actually the sales did very well. So that is under the 2 half 2026. Then we track back, 1 half 2026, what do we have? A lot of them, they are in the CCR, RCR Plus in Balea. And I actually have to search what is Lorong Puntong. That is actually near to the Thomson Bright Hill Xingming area. Those who miss out in Thomson Reserve or find a certain layouts or price you cannot get in Thomson Reserve, maybe this is something that you can look forward to.
But of course, 140 units
Yeah.
Smaller project.
Correct. Then besides that, really nothing much. We have one in New Upper Changi Road, which we're going to show you later on after this slide. And of course, Bayshore, another OCR plus. That means I see that the OCR really nothing much.
Based on the supply of GLS, essentially what we notice in OCR only got Far East and Far West in 2026. Over here, the Bedok one, near Bedok MRT, the Bayshore one. Then the last one that is upcoming is Jurong area. This is the white side. So Far East, Far West. But of course, there is this one, 85 units. No need to really say.
Yeah.
So what do you notice over here?
All these are in the confirmed sites. Sometimes developer also don't trigger for sale, and I also don't have. There were past instances whereby Media Circle, 2 parcels launched, 2 land sites under the confirmed list, but only one was bidded. One was Hudson Place Residences. The Town Hall Link, why do I say so? Is because previously they had a much bigger plot, white site, which government didn't award the land. So the example, because this is one OCR that we see for the 2026 land sales, we're going to use Upper Changi Road. When you see the location, it's just right next to Bedok MRT. The recent launch we have there is Sky Eden. And then the most prominent one we have there is Bedok Residences. Let's say we track back based on the land price, just one MRT further away.
Also very near MRT this one.
Just in front of. This is Tanah Merah MRT just at the doorstep. The price done for this land, you can see over here.
1330 per square foot. So for perspective, when was the last time the land sale did about 1,003? Some people might not know what does it translate when it comes officially launched, right?
Correct. Honestly, very hard to resonate because we see the PSF, PPR, we don't know what's the selling price.
Correct.
But just a quick indicator, 1330 square feet. Just now we saw Zion, land cost was cheaper than this. In fact, this land cost is very close to the CCR's land sold the past few years. This to show you that how much the land cost has increased.
But the launch price of Zion,
3,000 on average.
wow, means Bedok, Tanah Merah going to potentially sell at this price.
Got chance. Of course, got price higher, lower lah. But we're just saying that there's a very, very good chance that it may be very close to this pricing. And this price, even though we know that it's high, how many bidders bid for this? 10
Yeah.
10 bidders will bid for this site, and the first few, the land bid is very close lah. So just coming back to this 2026, this land plot very nice juicy site of 1,000 over units.
I think we can foresee that there will be so many developers coming in also, right?
Yes, one MRT down, lack of supply in the Bedok area.
And one more thing to really take note of is based on their land bid price as well, right? All Green was the one who got the land bid, right? But you can see that the next 4 people actually they bid very close to All Green.
Yes.
So this is not because All Green is crazy.
Yeah.
It's also because developers are super confident, right?
They genuinely believe, okay, I bid this land how much, right? Next time I can sell. I'm sure their calculations better than us one, yeah.
So based on this, right, this is what potentially will be happening in the second half of 2026 when this land opens up, it being so near to MRT.
Right.
Wow. I feel that it's going to be exciting.
Correct. Good luck to those people who want to wait for this. I don't think it's going to be cheap. Yeah.
Okay. So just now, Jay spoke what is going to be expected in terms of the upcoming GLS in the Bedok area. And in the town hall area, this is actually a white site, which is going to be expensive. So the prices that we're going to launch, is there a chance that it will be higher than what we see over here for town hall?
The chance of it being higher is so much higher than the chance of it being lower.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is generally what we are seeing in terms of the prices. One of the other things that we spotted over here in the OCR area, right? Actually, there's not much units for sale. In the OCR area for the second half, don't say this one are 85 units. The main ones are here. Estimated residential units only about 1,200 units. Jay, do you think that it is a lot or not?
It's not a lot lah. And let's say, for example, if it's 1,002 units, definitely it won't be 1,002 units of 3 bedrooms, right?
Correct.
The developer will have to split the unit types in terms of the unit mix. And if the price is so high, right, then maybe they have to calibrate the size also in terms of making it sellable.
Second thing we notice is the upcoming supply, there's only like very east areas and far west areas. So there's also like a shortage of OCR launches in where?
North and northeast.
Northwest.
Yeah.
South area also don't have.
They have OCR Plus Malaya, but they are going to be expensive. OCR Plus.
Okay. From here, right, to give you some perspective of what is the timeline to expect, I also want to show you this.
I think this is very helpful because sometimes even agents don't know like, hey, when it's going to be launched lah. And we'll be able to show you exactly when all this will be launched. Then you can see how you manage your timeline.
In terms of GLS, there is this timeline that is going to be expected because in the second half of 2026, we won't be seeing much OCR launches. Essentially, we can only guess that in the first half of 2027, maybe URA will launch a few OCR sites that are upcoming. But even if they launch the upcoming GLS and release it for sale, right, the earliest tender date will be in the early or late of 2027. But even if the land is being awarded to a particular developer, there is still a time frame in between for developers to plan out what they are going to build, submit for approval, and start to launch the project for sale. Then this timeline is like 2028 to 2029. Essentially, you can see that release site from GLS until the launch date, actually it takes about 1 to 1.5 years for buyers to be able to buy units there.
Yeah, and if the site is complicated, the developer will need a longer time also.
Correct. So it means that if the GLS sold in the first half of 2027, the earliest date that you can sell 4 years SSD is 2032 to 2033. Why is this so important for you to know is because we actually plotted out the difference in timeline if let's say you were to buy this year versus next year.
Because sometimes you want to wait for a good site.
So this is probably a timeline that you have to be more aware of because right now, if we were to use the last launch in the OCR, which is Lentor Garden, right?
The latest one coming.
Yeah. So This is the land plot by
Upcoming
Land, and they have already sort of announced that they are going to launch around March 2027. For people who buy during this time, SSD fulfill is March 2031. Remember just now the timeline which we plotted for you based on GLS, even if government release land first half of 2027, right? The earliest date to sell is 2032 to 2033. Essentially, it means that from here to here, there is a gap of a good 1 to 2 years gap where there will be shortage of OCR units for buyers to choose from. Hey, Jay, actually from our experience, right, what do you see when there is a shortage of new launch units coming in the market?
Okay, let's put it this way. Let's say if TOP ready, people can see my house, right? And then if I know that for the next 1 year or 2 years, there's no new supply, and if I have a unit that's very desirable, right? Most of the time, there will be more people coming to my house to view. So when there's more people coming to my house to view, will I be more confident about my selling price or not?
So it's like back to what you say, right? Buyers in today's market, they have choices between resale versus new.
Correct.
So when this supply don't have, then where can they go?
They have to go to the sub-sale or resale market.
Naturally, they will go here.
Right.
So when it comes here, who is most confident?
Seller.
Yeah. So actually, right, Jay,
Yep.
just now we talked about locations that are in the far east and far west that is happening in 2026.
That's right.
So these are the new launches that are going
For
to come
sales,
up.
yeah.
So essentially,
We already know the pipeline already.
correct, we
Right.
already know, right? So there are areas in the other OCR, such as in the northeast area, that won't come up.
Yes.
So like what we say, when there's no new launch in the next 2 years, then what happens to the prices of the resale?
Yeah, if I have no choice, if I need to stay in Northeast, I got no new one, then what I'm going to buy? No choice, I have to go to the resale market. But
Correct.
over there, right, what is the right one to buy? I think that one also we need to discuss.
Correct. So over there in the northeast area, you, for example, we can see that there is severe lack of supply. So buyers got no choice. Then they have to choose from a resale market.
And if I'm a seller there, right, I also know no supply. So will I sell high price or not? I
Yeah.
think that's where we come in to help you to really analyze what is a good price to pay. Because in a market that's going higher, right, when you pay low, you cannot get the house. But how much higher to pay, right? I think that one you need someone to advise you.
Correct. And also, we have done our multiple content based on our expertise. We have also helped many buyers to shortlist very good resale properties.
Right.
Today, we are not just talking about new launches, but in resale properties, there is an area that you can look at also.
Yeah, and in fact, some of the new launches may also help to push up some of the resale pricing over
Nearby.
there, depending on the demand and supply. So it's not a one-size-fits-all answer. Yeah, that means I don't have new launch, my resale price, very high chance will increase. I have new launch also, maybe the price will increase, but it really depends on what is the unit or what is the project that the area where a lot of new launches are coming. If you are head-on directly competing the price or the layout, right, then maybe your demand for that in the future may not be as high.
Not only that, we have plotted out these. We also want to know last time when this happened, where there was a severe lack of supply in the OCR region, what happened to the prices?
I think it's better when we show you previous examples that happened for you to able to visualize actually how much more you'll be paying. We look back at previous case scenarios where there's a lack of supply and sieve through a lot of data to see what's the pipeline of the land sales that are coming. So we noticed that for 2020 and 2021, you can see those in the OCR compared to the later years, right? It's actually much less. These are the ones done for 2020. Okay, for example, one half 2020, we have Yishun Avenue 9, which is a EC, and only Tanah Merah Kecil Link. So this one eventually became Senika Residences. That year also, we have Piccadilly Grand, Amor Residence. So these two are actually RCR.
Expensive.
Yes, the only OCR is actually in Senika Residences.
This is like super east.
Yeah, and that's one of the land plots near to the Bedok Rise, which will be launching next year. Then we look further on, Lentor Central, the only one in OCR for one half 2021, followed by Slins Barracks Rise, which is here at One North and Blossoms by the Park. And looking at two half, we have Tembusu Grand, RCR, Lentor Hills, Parcel A, Dairy Farm. So you can see the number of sites launched for OCR is really very little. And through here, we can see what will be the effect coming on because these are the land sales that will be happening. Then based on the launch date, you will see that during that launch date, there's no supply already. So what happened to the price of the other launches over there? Balance unit lah.
In fact, when we compare right between these 2 years, 2020 to 2021, right, you take a look at only OCR, 310, 610, 900, which is very different from what we can see in the past few years.
So 2 years can be less than one half of the upcoming quarters.
To put things into perspective for you, right, we're going to take a project, actually saw and went through the stage where there is a severe lack of supply and when there is also a lot of supply. In 2019, right, this is Treasure at Tampines and we're going to take 2 units to compare with you based on 3 bedrooms, 2 similar size. In fact, just back-to-back facing. This one is facing pool and this one is facing the...
Sorry, I have
Why
to
you
use this
always-
again. face dustbin. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
this one face the dustbin.
And substation.
So last video we also talked about this. Who in the world, right? Wake up in the morning will say, I want to buy a house that is facing dustbin.
Of course, nobody. But again,
Nobody.
sorry for those people who buy this. I'm sure you have a reason, right? And then this is why we are going to explain.
Yeah. So the reason is definitely not because this person want to buy, but because of the difference in the timing. Because 2019 was during the time where Treasure at Tampines.
Back then, there were a lot of en blocs, like Treasure at Tampines was one of the en blocs for the Tampines area. I remember back then, so many launches. Treasure at Tampines, Jadescape, Park Esta, Riverfront, Florence. There was so much supply back then. That's also one of the reasons why buyers actually can take advantage of it.
Correct. Back then, buyers had a lot of choices, which means that this pool-facing unit bought at $1.335 million. Whereas when this buyer who is buying the last phase Treasure at Tampines, not much units to choose from in the OCR market due to a lack of supply of new launch units. Because remember, 2020, 2021, not much GLS, which means that 2022 got no new launch to buy from. And what happened? This buyer got no choice. Still need a house to stay, to invest in also. No choice but to buy this 3-bedroom at 1.637 million. Which also means that the difference in entry price is $300,000, even though their facing is very different.
So remember just now when we talk about these land sales, 2022, 2021, there's a lack of supply. So that translates to the launches that happen in around 2022. So what we're trying to say is that during 2022, this period, right, really don't have a lot of launch. So the balance stock less. So can you imagine you go and visit this show flat during the launch, right? Then after that, you choose not to buy. Then after that, you wait, hoping that every year there's a new launches coming, right? Then end up, cannot leh.
Yeah.
Then you have to swallow and pay.
Correct. Which is why this video, we find that it is very meaningful for us. Because this preps you and helps you to remember and expect. It's not because people keep saying price keep going up, but we already can foresee. It's like a crystal ball to tell us that because there's not much choices, so developers confident.
Yeah, less and less units left, definitely they will bring up the price. You want to help the first people who support your project also,
Correct.
to make them have confidence in you in future
As a
sales as
developer
well. Yeah.
Just now we talked about the upcoming supply. Now we're just going to talk about, is prices really going to keep going higher and higher or not? So over here, we actually broke down the land prices that is going to happen between now, in 6 months' time, the later part of 2026, or beyond the first half of 2027. Here, we are going to see that the prices on top of the supply is going to have a very huge impact in the resale and new launch market. Especially in this video, we are covering about OCR. These are the prices we are going to talk about, which is now.
Now price.
Here, we are going to categorize all these launches into 3 main colors. The orange ones is CCR, the blue ones RCR, black ones are actually OCR area. The first launch that was happening late last year is Sky at Holland. Average land price 1285 per square foot. Transacted is 2950 per square foot. Back then, a lot of people say, wow, Sky of Holland, first day did so well. Reason is not because people are crazy, but because they already saw what is the land prices going to happen moving upwards.
Remember just now we saw the Bedok rise? 1330 is even more expensive than Sky.
Then we also have Penrith. Penrith is a launch that is near Queenstown, also sold very well during the first day of launch. Land cost is 1154 per square foot and sold price is 2,800 per square foot.
Wow.
Then we also have Zion Grand, $1,200 to $1,300 per square foot per plot ratio. Average launch price is 3,050 per square foot.
Right.
So last time we already see that CCR on average, the prices is like between 2,009 to 3,000. That was a norm. And for RCR, it slowly crept into about 2,008. Now we look at what is happening in the OCR area as well. Then last year, we also have the Faber Residences. Land price was 900 per square foot per plot ratio. Transacted price is $2,100 per square foot. So this was the price that was happening last time. And right now, going to launch next month is Lentor, right? Lentor, 120 per square foot per plot ratio. In fact, the lowest in the entire Lentor area. As of today's point of filming, we have the indicative price for Lentor Gardens. The starting price is 2,050 per square foot.
That's right.
Average, I think they told us
2223. I think depends on the unit type as well.
Yeah, of course, there is a spread in terms of how the developers are going to price the units. This is basically what has happened in the launches so far. And why we want to share with you this, because in the later part of 2026, there is actually a 30% wave ahead of us. What do we actually mean?
Okay, so based on these pricings that we already seen here, we have the land bid price and the eventual selling price as well. What we then mean is that moving on the months ahead of us, the lands have already been locked in at a higher price. So higher land price cannot be my selling price the same, correct?
Correct.
So this jump is almost 30% in terms of this.
In fact, we already see this one launch materializing already in terms of prices.
So just now I was showing you Vela Bay, right? This one has already done 2886 average, which means this is no longer just on paper. It's already happening in the market already. So what does this actually mean for you as a buyer?
So you see, last year over here, same land price,
Correct.
2,900 to 3,000.
Correct.
So this year already happened. Last year CCR price, this year become
OCR plus lah. Give a bit of face. OCR plus price.
Yeah.
Which means, right, let's say if you have a certain budget, right? I just give you an example. Maybe you have a budget of 1.5 million. Okay, so this is a real case scenario. Over here, we probably can get a 2-bed, 2-bath. In the resale market, this price is quite difficult for you to get a 3 bedrooms, honestly.
Yeah, resale EC can.
Yeah, resale EC can, but resale EC are in certain areas. If you maybe you want to stay, even you want to stay Jurong East also to have resale EC, the newer ones to consider from, or even in Bedok area. Coming back to this 1.5 million, probably now you still can buy a 2-bed, 2-bath. Okay, but moving ahead, when you go to the new price here, because it's a 30% increase, that means your size also decreased 30%. Right? That means for the same 1.5 million, then here is 2-bed, 1-bath floor. So are you okay sharing the toilet with your guests when you stay?
If they get a very good queue number, they can still get 2-bed, 2-bath lah.
Can.
Must be like very, very lucky.
Can we go and bye together, then we can get a good unit. But I would really recommend not to wait so long because you can already see that the land prices already have increased so much. So I give you an example. Let's say you are looking to buy a 1,000 square foot unit. Okay, maybe you want to buy something for own stay, then of course you don't want to buy a small unit, right? So just give you an example of 1,000 square feet unit. Let's say if you're looking at Lentor area, right? 920 PSF PPR. Then we are compare with the new one, another Lentor. So how much is the price difference? $300 more PSF, right? So for the same 1,000 square feet, can you imagine in the same area, right? You have to pay this amount more. And this one, right, is not wait 3 years. This one is you wait 1 year, you pay 300,000 more to wait 1 year. So is it worth it or not? I think I leave it to you decide.
So actually what you mean is based on Lentor, right? 1,278 per square foot per plot ratio. It's very similar to what has already been done here.
Correct.
Yeah. That is why do you feel that based on this launch Lentor Gardens versus the one by Guaco Land, there's going to be a disparity in prices?
Correct. So if I'm a developer, right, I know that the next plot going to be more expensive, right? Maybe also I will increase the price a little bit. But on the other hand, I also know that there's one more plot. So maybe I also won't be pricing so high.
Yeah.
It depends on how they want to balance this. But let's also see what happens. Because now we're just talking about those lands that are locked in, correct? Then what about those in 2026 this year or 1/2 2026 this year? What if the future land sales, right? The land maybe sell at same price? Because that can be the case, We also want to study let's say if these are all already locked in, they are in the 2025 GLS. So now let's say we are going to the 2026 GLS, right? What if it's the same price? Or what if lower price, right? Actually, we do have some examples to show you in fact, it can be in the same area, land bid price lower, but they sell more expensive. I want to use this chance to show you also. Because land price is not the only factor that shows how much the price will be sold. There are other factors as well, but land cost is the easiest way to sort of see. Just a quick one before we move to the next slide. So these are the upcoming launches that will be under the 2026 GLS land sites. Just now Vivian has said we have those in the east, okay, these 3. And then we have one in the west, which is under the OCR. And then of course, RCR or RCR Plus, we have those in Balea, Upper Thomson, and then those in Tanjong Rhu and Marina Gardens also. To be honest, all these sites, they are not just RCR. To me, they are RCR Plus. So the pricing definitely, based on our experience, I don't think that they're going to be cheap. But just to talk about the land price, what if here, right, the land price is the same as here? Will it be selling same price or cheaper? Or maybe here the land price cheaper than how? Can happen, We don't know, maybe there's a chance, right? But we just want to show you over here. One good example is Lentor. Just now Vivian was mentioning 920 PSF PPR for these Lentor Gardens, right? And then now we know the lowest price is going to be 2050. So over here, starting from 2050 PSF, right? And then we just did our Lentor Gardens review. We can see over in the Lentor area, really this space, I don't know how they can squeeze so many projects all at one place. In fact, the land cost has been actually going lower and lower, okay, since Lentor Modern when they first launched, right? 1,002 PSF PPR and then going down to Lentor Hills, Hulot Green. It has never crossed 1,002 PSF PPR already, okay? Then now for Lentor, the land cost is 920, okay? How much they're going to start? 2050. So we can see even here, the land cost decrease. Did the minimum price increase? Actually, generally still increase, right? Even compared to the one for Lentor Central Residences. So based on all this, right, I would say that generally the prices will still increase, not just because of land cost. Land cost increase, biggest factor. But there are other factors that will sort of take into account the cost of construction, labor cost, material cost. All this will actually make the prices go up very high. So now we have to come back to frame up how does it affect you under the possible scenarios. Someone looking to upgrade or someone looking to downgrade, then we want to discuss a bit more as to what are the steps that you should take or what should you be planning looking back to the government land sales that we have seen so far.
So generally, if we were to look back based on the chart, right, can I say that if new launch prices increase, right, resale prices also will move up in tandem?
That's right.
Also will, right?
Price gap will be there. Yeah.
Correct. Also, if today you are watching this video, are you also thinking, okay lah, then if I currently own a place, actually my property price also will increase ma.
Correct.
So why would I need to rush in to buy something?
I stay low, my price go up ma, then I get
Correct,
more money from my
correct,
house.
But however, if we will think from two different scenarios based on upgraders and downgraders, right? Actually, what you are going to expect is very different. Why we say so? If we look at the upgraders first, maybe Jay, you want to share with us, right? In terms of upgraders, what we actually see usually in the market.
So of course, how much we sell will determine how much we get back. Correct. For example, this case we are talking about upgrading. So we are going from a smaller house to a bigger house. So imagine right now you're staying in a 4-room flat or maybe a 3-bed 2-bath compact. So these sizes are usually around 900 plus square feet, correct? So imagine your price go up. You know, you wait for the new launch or the resale price to go up. New launch help you to push up the price. Lack of resale supply also help you to push up the price. So imagine here you increase about, just example, 10%.
Let's just put 100 per square foot for example.
Okay, can. So we do $100 PSF. Then it has always been in your mind that eventually you will need a bigger space ma. Because 3-bed 2-bath or maybe 3-bedroom will change to 4-bedroom. You definitely need a bigger space. 1,250 square feet example. Why you laugh?
Really write down to the details at 1250.
1250 lah.
Okay.
Must like real
some 4D number.
Right. So just imagine more of them increase at the same price, $100 per square foot. But I can tell you in the market, right, honestly, this one, the PSF increase can be higher than this one. But let's just use the same $100 PSF. So the gains for this will be 90,000, right? You will gain 90,000 more from selling. Maybe you wait 2 years or 1 year, your unit increased by 90,000. Okay? But do you know that when you go and buy the house, right, how much more you have to pay now? Because this same unit, right, you have to pay this amount more. So what's the difference? You have to pay in the end, you have to pay another 35,000 more. Okay? So what's the cutest thing about this, right?
35,000 really looks very little on this perspective. But I guess from this example, it's very...
It's just to show you that you have to pay more lah.
Correct.
But there's another thing that you wait, right? 1 year you grow older or younger. You grow older ma, right? That means that in terms of the affordability, let's say if you already passed 35, which is very likely the case if you're an upgrader, 1 year later means that your loan dropped by 1 year. So for the same loan amount, your installment increases. I mean, that's the cost of waiting. You pay higher, your installment higher, and I don't know about the interest rates next time because now the interest rates are still relatively low.
And also based on the past few years, right, we have seen that the bigger units tend to grow so much more in terms of as compared to smaller units lah.
Yeah.
To put perspective for you. Of course, right now we're talking about the upgraders. Then the next one we want to look at is downgraders. Just now we talked about upgraders is like, price higher, then faster must buy, faster this.
Not faster. It really makes sense to like, don't wait lah.
Yeah, but in terms of downgraders, or maybe if let's say today you're not in so much hurry to sell, right?
Want to chong already. Just chill.
Looking to downgrade, then actually can I say that it's also fair for people who are looking to downgrade to wait too?
This one I feel that if you are downgrading, then it's better to wait lah. Yeah,
Correct.
because the price will go up. This time round, you are tombalik. Like you from 1,250 square feet, you change to 900 square feet.
Correct. So from this, you swap to this.
Yes.
Might as well you wait for the market to increase first before you opt for another unit.
And if you're above 55, you can even change back to HDB without the wait out period.
Correct.
So I think that it really depends on what kind of situation you're in.
So not only that, there is a difference between what you can look at as comparison from a new launch to resale, a good location and not so convenient location. Actually, expanding what you mentioned earlier,
right.
because over here there is more supply, developers will be less confident as compared to over here OCR, less supply.
Correct.
So in this sense, there is also a very high chance where the future price here could be the price of what
Very
RCR will
close.
be seeing today.
Very close lah.
Correct. I feel that this is a very good time for, let's say you want to move, thinking about buying into a new property, you should consider.
To town lah. Sell high, buy not high.
Yeah. So this is a very good chance for you to actually sell high if you stay in the OCR area and buy low.
Possibly low. But buy the right one
buy
lah, of course.
cheaper.
Don't anyhow buy lah, like we
Yeah.
have seen from the previous examples.
Yeah. Okay. Which is why if you are actually looking for a property to buy in that is very aligned to government policies and the future land prices, how do you leverage on all this information to buy the right kind of property? You can reach us at our contact number here. We do hope that you enjoy our series. We actually enjoyed this particular content a lot. I think this is my favorite content this month.
We discover a lot of things from there.
Yeah.
And we are going to launch maybe 1 or 2 more topics based
Yeah.
on the GLS land
Yes,
side. So
yeah.
stay tuned.
If you like our content, do remember to like and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to join us in our Telegram community. We hope to talk to you all more and we'll see you in our
the
next video.
Bye.